Hi ladies, I'm Sarah Woyan. Just wanted to share a couple Christmas thoughts with you today. I want to take us to the nativity scene and Mary and the birth of Jesus and just the simplicity in those two things. Uh, Jesus's humble beginnings in a barn and Mary unexpectedly giving birth to Jesus and all the events that surround that. And so I want to take us to Luke 2:4-7. So Joseph went up from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Judea, to Bethlehem, the town of David, because he belonged to the house and line of David. He went there to register with Mary, who was pledged to be married to him and was expecting a child. While they were there, the time came for the baby to be born, and she gave birth to her firstborn son. She wrapped him in cloth and placed him in a manger because there was no guest room available for them. And so the thing that jumped out at me, and every year I think about this, is the events of Mary giving birth and the birth story. And, you know, Mary was a teenager and she had never had a baby before. She didn't have family. She didn't have medical people helping her. And she was in a dirty barn. And I just think the symbolism in that story is just so beautiful. And I appreciate the simplicity of it. And Mary's strength, her grit. She's fierce. Even though that's not how she came across, she had to be those things to get through childbirth and delivery in a barn. And she just does it with such grace and humility, and that just really speaks to me of how I could be more like Mary and how I could think about her character traits and what I could take away from that simple beginning story of Jesus. I'm a teacher, and so children's books are a very large part of what I do each day. And so in the comments below, I'm going to share a couple kids books with you and your family. Share them with your kids. My very favorite Christmas book is called The Christmas Miracle of Jonathan Toomey, and it's this beautiful story about a woodcarver and a widow and her son. And the woodcarver is making a nativity scene for the widow and her son, and the little boy likes to instruct the woodcarver on how to carve each piece of the nativity and what it should look like. It's a beautiful story. I cry every time. So there's two videos, the beginning, and then I had to chop it off when I started crying, and then I gathered myself and finished. So there's two parts to that one. And then for the little chompers, the pre-K and kindergarten kiddos, this is another favorite of ours, Who is Coming to Our House. It's a beautiful, has beautiful pictures in it. It's about all the animals in the barn and how they're preparing the barn for Jesus's birth and Mary and Joseph coming to give birth in the barn. So enjoy these two Christmas stories focused on the Nativity. The Nativity is a focal point here at our house, and every year we love putting it up together. And you know, it just kind of brings the simplicity of Christmas back to that event. And so I just want to encourage you this Christmas season to find the simplicity and the quiet of the season. I also want to share my favorite Christmas carol is "O Holy Night," and there were two phrases that jumped out at me that I wanted to share with you. The first one is, "A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn." So right now the world can seem like a pretty weary and lonely place for a lot of people. And so I just want to encourage you that the morning is coming. It says, "For yonder breaks a new and glorious morn." You know, so the light is coming and the morning will be here. So reach out to others this Christmas season to encourage them. And the other phrase is, "Truly he taught us to love one another. His law is love and his gospel is peace." And I just think that's really important every day to put on that, the idea of showing love and peace to others and living our lives that way, full of God's love and his peace, and how we can pass that on to others. Not only during Christmas season, but every day. So I'm sending you lots of Christmas love and peace this Christmas. And I just pray that you find the simplicity in the birth of Jesus and the Nativity.